said Commander Elena Ruiz, her voice steady despite the fatigue etched into her face. Atmosphere's 28% oxygen, 70% nitrogen, trace CO2. Gravity's 0.9 g. Liquid water confirmed. Sounds like home, muttered Lieutenant Jake Carter, the mission's engineer, as he checked the lander's systems. Except for the part where we don't know what's down there. Aisha adjusted her tablet, reviewing the spectroscopic data. The planet's biosignatures were undeniable: methane and oxygen spikes suggesting microbial life, maybe more. But the readings were odd. Irregular pulses of electromagnetic activity, too rhythmic to be natural, too faint to be deliberate. Something's alive down there, she said. And it's not just bacteria. The crew prepped the lander, Icarus, for descent. Aisha's mind buzzed with possibilities. Kepler 442b was in the habitable zone, but its star's lower output meant any life would have adapted to colder, dimmer conditions. Photosynthesis, if it existed, would likely rely on infrared or ultraviolet wavelengths. She imagined alien flora, glowing faintly under the orange sun, or creatures with bioluminescent skin to navigate the eternal twilight. The descent was rough. Turbulence from dense atmospheric clouds rattled Icarus. When they touched down on a rocky plateau near a shimmering lake, the crew suited up in sealed exosuits. Aisha stepped onto the surface first, her boots crunching on crystalline gravel. The air was breathable but carried a sharp, metallic tang. In the distance, strange, stalk-like structures swayed despite the still air. "Those aren't plants," Aisha whispered, her scanner buzzing. "They're emitting low-frequency signals." Carter frowned, checking his own device. "Like a radio? You saying we landed in an alien Wi-Fi hotspot?" "Focus," Ruiz snapped, scanning the horizon. "We've got 48 hours to collect samples and get back to Aurora. Let's move." As they set up the mobile lab, Aisha noticed the lake's surface rippling in perfect, concentric waves, too precise for wind or seismic activity. Something was watching them. By the second day, the crew had catalogued dozens of samples: crystalline minerals that vibrated faintly, fluid-filled pods that pulsed with bioluminescent light, and air samples teeming with microscopic organisms. Aisha's analysis confirmed the microbes used a form of chemosynthesis, metabolizing sulfur compounds from the planet's volcanic activity. But the stalk-like structures baffled her. They weren't plants or animals but something in between: hybrid organisms that seemed to communicate through electromagnetic bursts. "These things are networked," Aisha said, showing Ruiz the data. "Like a neural web, but planet-wide. Every pulse syncs with the others." Ruiz's eyes narrowed. "Are you saying this planet has a brain?" "Not exactly. More like a distributed intelligence. Think coral reefs, but instead of polyps, it's these stalks, linked by signals." Carter, tinkering with a drone, snorted. "Great. We're poking a giant alien nervous system." That night, as the orange sun dipped below the horizon, the pulses intensified. The crew's equipment flickered, and their comms filled with static. Aisha's scanner spiked, detecting a surge of electromagnetic energy from the lake. She grabbed a flashlight and headed toward the water, ignoring Ruiz's protests. At the shore, the ripples were stronger, forming intricate patterns. Aisha knelt, her gloved hand hovering over the surface. Then, without warning, a tendril of liquid rose, coiling like a snake. It wasn't water, it was dense, viscous, and glowing faintly. Her scanner screamed, picking up a signal that matched the stalk's pulses. "Contact," she yelled, stumbling back. The tendril froze, then retreated into the lake. The crew rushed to her side, weapons drawn, but the water was still again. "What the hell was that?" Carter demanded. Aisha's voice shook. "I think it was trying to talk." Back at the mobile lab, Aisha worked through the night, analyzing the lake's composition. The liquid wasn't just water, it contained complex organic molecules, some resembling proteins, others defying classification. The tendrils' movement suggested intent, maybe even curiosity. If the stalks were a network, the lake might be a hub, a central node for whatever intelligence governed this world. Ruiz wasn't convinced. "We're not here to chat with aliens. We're here for data. If this gets dangerous, we're out." But Aisha couldn't let it go. She rigged a low-frequency transmitter to mimic the stork signals, hoping to ping the lake. At dawn, she sent the first pulse. The response was immediate. The lake churned, and a dozen tendrils rose, weaving in a synchronized dance. Her scanner lit up with a flood of data, patterns too complex for random noise. "It's answering," Aisha said, her voice barely a whisper. "It's trying to understand us." Carter, monitoring the lab's power grid, cursed. "Whatever it's doing, it's draining our systems. Icarus is at 20% power." Ruiz made the call. "We're aborting. Pack up, now." As the crew dismantled the lab, the ground trembled. The stalks glowed brighter, their pulses now audible, a low, resonant hum. From the lake, a massive shape emerged, not liquid but solid, its surface shifting like liquid metal. It wasn't a creature, it was an interface, a construct of the planet's networked intelligence. Aisha froze, her transmitter still active. The construct pulsed in sync with her signal, then projected a holographic pattern, a map of the Kepler 442 system, with Aurora's orbit marked in red. "They know we're here," Aisha said. "And they want us to stay." Chapter 4, The Choice. The crew stood at the edge of the plateau, staring at the construct. It hadn't moved, but its presence was overwhelming, a silent invitation, or a warning. Aisha's transmitter continued to relay data, now receiving a stream of alien symbols, possibly a language. Deciphering it would take years, maybe decades. "We can't stay," Ruiz said. "We don't have the resources. And we don't know if it's friendly." Carter nodded. "That thing could fry our systems, or us." Aisha disagreed. "This is first contact. We can't just run. They're trying to communicate. If we leave, we might never get this chance again." The construct pulsed again, and the holographic map shifted, zooming out to show the galaxy, then a single point, a star system 50 light-years away. A destination? A warning? A gift? Ruiz checked her watch. 6 hours until Icarus loses power. "We vote now. Stay and risk everything, or leave and report back." Aisha looked at the construct, its surface rippling like a living thing. She thought of Earth, of the wars over resources, of the hope pinned on distant worlds like this one. Whatever this intelligence was, it had survived billions of years. It had something to teach. "I'm staying," she said. The crew's decision would shape humanity's future. The construct waited, silent, as the orange sun rose again.